Hey guys, hope all is well. Hope you're having a great Memorial Day. What I wanted to do is go over some training for muscular fitness and kind of look at some regressions, progressions, and basic patterns that we can run into when you might have to substitute for an exercise. This is a presentation I did to one of my classes called Coaching. It was written off the book of Successful Coaching that we used for class. Without further ado, training for muscular fitness. We look at muscular fitness as having enough strength, endurance, speed, power, and flexibility to meet the demands of your sport, recognizing that each sport has its own unique requirements. Muscular strength is the maximum amount of force that a muscle can generate in a single effort. Muscular endurance is the ability of that muscle to contract repeatedly or sustain a continuous contraction involving less than maximal force. Power is strength and speed combined. It's sometimes called speed strength, force produced quickly. The one thing between power and strength is power is the ability to overcome a distance in a fast motion. Flexibility is range of motion among the muscles to the joints. Tendons attach muscles to bones. Ligaments attach bones to bones. All muscles are pullers, shorten or contract moving the bone they are attached to in order to produce movement or force. Concentric muscle shortens, eccentric muscle lengthens, isometric or static tension on the muscle but no movement. So some basic muscle mechanics. Physiology, this is a short one. There's a lot you can go into this, but this is really quick and easy. Contractile proteins, actin and myosin, create cross bridges that pull the muscle towards each other or separate from each other. Again, contracted by the nervous system, called motor units, or help move muscles. Very important to know how physiology works, as we have to create programs around the physiology to help the athlete and or client achieve a level of fitness. Remember, physiology doesn't change much. We as coaches have the opportunity to manipulate programs to change how the athlete's ability proceeds or is manipulated during a program. Training for muscular fitness. So we have flexibility training, mobility, flexibility, active passes, and PNF. Mobility, again, is range of motion among its joints. Flexibility, range of motion among muscles. Active is the ability to actively stretch a muscle or group of muscles, but keeping half the body system static or not moving. Passive, partner stretching, so somebody else stretching you out, and PNF is proprio-neuromuscular facilitation, also known as contract relax stretching. That is holding a stretch for a period of time by a partner passively, then relaxing, then they're able to stretch you further. Resistance training types. We have different type of modalities, sandbags, machines, dumbbells, kettlebells, barbells. Resistance, repetition, and set. Those are the four basic movement there. So flexibility, again, just going over what I just said. Passive, partner stretching, PNF, contract, relax. Active, body in a fixed position but moving a body part through its range of motion. Dynamic, on your feet, moving and pulling the body through range of motion. Think of the strength warm-up. Mobility, joint range of motion. Work from the bottom up. Kinetic chain. Joint by joint approach. Mike Boyle, ankles to knees, to hips, to low back, to thoracic, to shoulders, to neck. Resistance training can be power strength, speed, endurance, and speed strength used to increase muscle size. Trains the nervous system to recruit muscle fibers and recruit them faster. Methods, machines, fixed and used fixed range of motion. Dumbbells great for stability and working auxiliary muscles. Barbell used for main lifts and creates less stability than dumbbells. Kettlebell great for power movements but tough to teach. Bands awesome to maintain proper range of motion with resistance. Sandbag is another one that we use quite often. I didn't put it in here. That is an uneven modality that is very difficult to teach, but it's also very good on the core system and actually the whole body system. Know the muscles. Understanding muscles and locations. Key to understand movement. Train the movements, not muscles, because movements is what your athletes will do. So it's an old adage by Nick Winkelman: train the movement, not the muscle. Know the lingo. So resistance, weight or load the muscle lifts or works against. Repetition, one complete movement of an exercise. Set, number of repetitions done continuously without stopping. Muscular demands for sport. Each sport has different demands for sport based on flexibility, endurance, speed, and power. Also, energy systems. You have to know the demands of the sport before you can program the movements. Early on in programming general movements, as a peak or sport becomes closer, you must mimic that sport with more specific movements. So, we're looking from general to specific. Evaluations will help determine movement deficiencies and allow you to program to help the weakness. It also gives you a chance to be the athlete, for the athlete to move and see where they get most help. So qualitative and quantitative analysis. So quantitative is numbers or something you can measure. Qualitative is coach's eye. Testing muscular fitness, flexibility, FMS, functional movement screen, sit and reach, back scratch test, mobility, FMS, strength, select exercises. Books suggest 6 to 15 reps. That would be way too much to gauge on a 15 rep max. You want anywhere from 3 to 5 reps to be as close to 1 rep as possible. Muscular endurance, bench press test, YMCA protocol, curl up test, sit up test, and then pull up test. Speed and power are defined as specificity amongst its sport or movement. Muscular endurance, you can use metronomes for it or set it at 50 beats. Do a curl up to 25 continuous or until you can no longer do it. Speed, 50-yard sprint is what the book states. I'm a big 10-yard dash guy. See acceleration. Lasers if possible. Stopwatch, use the finger, not the thumb. And then power, vertical jump test or stair sprint test. Program design, this is the nitty gritty here. Flexibility, work from the ground up. Calves, quads, hamstrings, glutes, low back, upper back. Mobility, ankles, knees, hips, lumbar, thoracic, shoulder. Resistance, power. Core movements and auxiliary. So power, Olympic movements or plyometrics. Core movements, squat, bench, deadlift variations. Auxiliary, bicep, tricep. So working from gross motor movements, so total body movements down to specific body movements. 6 basic movement patterns. Vertical pulling, vertical pushing, knee dominant, hip dominant, horizontal pushing, horizontal pulling. Couple examples are listed to the right of those. We also can look at combination as we do a lot of combination movements here at FitCode. So a little bit of a strength chart. Strength is 85% 1 rep max, less than 5 reps, 2 to 6 sets, 2 to 5 minutes. Power, single effort, 80 to 90%, 1 to 2, 3 to 5, and 2 to 5 minute rest. Power, multi-effort. So you're looking at more than 1 rep, 75 to 85%, 3 to 5 rep, 3 to 5 sets, 2 to 5 minutes. Endurance, 60% or less, over 12 reps, 2 to 3. That is the book's issue. Here's the Prilipin chart. I'm a big proponent of the Prilipin chart and also the NSCA chart. So Prilipin chart's a little more detailed. Max strength 95 to 100%, 1 to 3 reps, 4 to 10 total reps. Strength 85 to 95, hypertrophy endurance 75 to 85, explosive power 65 to 75, endurance 55 to 65, and endurance multiple effort, higher rep range. Obviously, we just decrease the intensity. Pretty cool thing to look at. Very simple. When we're looking at the NSCA chart, they only have 4 basic things: hypertrophy, basic strength, strength power, and then peaking. Hypertrophy is 50 to 75%, 10 to 20 reps, 3 to 6 sets. Basic strength 80 to 90, 48 reps, 3 to 5 sets. Strength power 87 to 95, 2 to 5 reps, or 3 to 5 sets, or 75 to 90 depending on how many efforts there is or how many reps. Peaking is over 93%, 1 to 3 reps, 1 to 3 sets, very low value. Basic movements: hip dominant, squatting or deadlifting, vertical pull up and lat pulls, vertical push, overhead pressing, horizontal push, bench press push up, horizontal pull, dumbbell row, face pulls, variations of all the above as you worked on in class. They did do an assignment on how to regress, progress. Cycles: how do we train the body or create a goal for training? Needs analysis, evaluation, macro, meso, microcycle. Macro cycle, the longevity of the program, generally 1 year. Meso breaks the macro cycle into smaller chunks, 3 months generally. And microcycle, 1 month of workouts with an intended goal. Remember, the difference between a workout and program is there's an intended goal in the future. Linear periodization, very structured, designed to go about for a longer period of time with athletes, clients coming in for more than 6 months. Sequence is structured with little alteration: muscular endurance, hypertrophy, strength, power, repeat. Goal is to get the athlete prepped and peak season. NSCA, a big proponent of the linear model, is making a shift towards nonlinear. Eastern Bloc never uses this model, utilizes nonlinear and conjugate. Nonlinear looks at smaller time frame of working with clients, the ability of them not to come in to commit to 1 year of training, generally for those who have 1 year of consistent training or more. Research supports this fact, and in the longer run, the athlete client can handle the continuous shifts and the reps within the program. Varied sets and reps with intended goals of overall program but less time to train. Can vary weekly, so the weekly reps and sets can change, or daily. Preference is daily. Example: Monday, max strength lower body; Tuesday, max power upper body; Wednesday off; Thursday, max strength upper body; Friday, max power lower body. So you have the shifts in the intensities and reps daily. Structure: power block utilizes power movements like Olympic lifting or jump training. Strength blocks core movements superset with opposing muscles, and auxiliary small muscles. Total body versus split body workouts depends on the gym time. 2-day-a-week and 3-day-a-week programs generally are total body, non-linear best practice, mixing between strength and power with auxiliary movements for hypertrophy. 4-day and 5-day-a-week programs, you can do split body. Here's an example of a template. So on the power block, we've seen this in our strength programs. We have a power movement, kettlebell swing, mixed with a mobility movement and then a core movement. Same with below. Goblet squat is our hip dominant, and then we got a vertical pull. Structure goal is to have sets, reps, and exercise written down and tracked so progress can be looked at. Progressions to exercise are to happen generally from microcycle to microcycle depending on movement. So here's a couple different ones. So if we're in a situation, we've noticed this, where you have to kind of come up with a exercise regression that might not be on the board, might not be level 1, level 2, level 3. Here's an example of a bodyweight squat. We go bodyweight squat, band squat, sumo squat, goblet squat, 2 kettlebell goblet squat, front squat, back squat. Modified push-up, push-up, eccentric push-ups. Vest push-ups, Bosu push-ups, feet elevated push-up. Single arm press, alternating press, dumbbell press, bench press. So a lot of these, either the main exercise will be in the middle, depending on what program we're doing, or at the very end. For instance, a bench press. Some of our strength clients can't bench press, so we whittle them down to a dumbbell press. Incline single arm press, incline alternating press, incline dumbbell press, barbell incline press. So all of these are variances. What we have to look at is, are they in the movement pattern when we're regressing or coming up with a different exercise? What is their current state of fitness? Right? Can they do the prescribed movement? If not, what's the next step down that is staying within the movement pattern? That's the biggest key. So if we're staying within the movement pattern, there's not a big deal. We look at the intensity for the individual and the intensity that we're allowed to give them. So when we're running circuits or we're in our MTT classes, we have to pay close attention. If we're going to switch up an exercise for somebody, it's in the proper movement pattern, the intensity is justified, and the client can handle it without any issue of injury. Okay, so that's the biggest thing with this that I wanted to get to. Is understand progression flow. You never want to progress quickly or put the client up for failure. Always start at a level below what you think they could do, and then progress them up. What we don't want to do is lose that confidence that they have in themselves. That is key. Confidence breeds success. So we want them to be as confident as possible, especially with our newcomers that come in. We want to build that confidence, build that pyramid or base confidence, and then we kind of beat them up a little bit more with intensity. You can make a very simple movement like a bodyweight squat very difficult, more intense. We're looking at time under tension. You're looking at repetitions. You're looking at time that the movement has to take place. So you could really manipulate any basic exercise. Again, the key when we're taking on other exercises is to progress in a fashion in which they mimic the base movement that we want to create or what is prescribed, but with less intensity or ease of movement so they are not injured. That's it, guys. I hope you have, if you have any questions, please hit me up. This was very short, quick to the point. I hope it made some sense to you. Hit me up if you have any questions. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.